This is Mouthbuzz. Every week, we follow life's strange little breadcrumbs, topics we bumped into, thought about, and maybe completely misunderstood. Join us as we talk it through. Our broadcast location today is the third lagoon at Sandgate. Now, we've talked about these lagoons several times before.
We just love them.
We love these lagoons, but we'll tell you more about that in a minute. But first, what's the buzz?
The buzz this week. Lots going on. Surf's up forever. Brian Wilson's final wave. My new motto, be like a capybara.
A capybara? What is that?
Tell you later, alligator. Aged care or paper chase. The $3,000 shortcut to help mum.
My goodness, that seems like a lot of money.
That sounds nuts.
Yeah.
Too many slices? Why your pizza-like life isn't sustainable.
I like pizza.
Me too. Forced to teach sport? Please send help. Oh, not funny. Retirement, a secluded goal?
That's an interesting one, retirement. We'll get into that.
Freezing for fashion. Are school uniforms outdated?
Another teachery, schooly type topic.
Oh, I can't help it.
Well, today we're broadcasting from Sandgate Third Lagoon. Now, we've broadcast from Sandgate's 𝐼𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐾𝐿 Lagoon, the Dow's Lagoon, and we've mentioned the third lagoon, but it's a little bit further out along Bracken Ridge Way.
Yes, and it's a bit more bushy.
It's very bushy, and in fact, you can't see the lagoon itself other than all of the reeds, but there's a lovely walk. And you know what I really love about this walk? It is so Australian bush.
Nice.
Just beautiful. We're going to take you for a walk around Third Lagoon and into the deep bush of Bracken Ridge. But the Third Lagoon has got another name. Do you know what it is?
I am clueless.
It is Bungwald Lagoon.
Oh.
Now, I'm assuming that's an Aboriginal name. I think I said that correctly. And the thing about this lagoon is different to the other ones. It's very reeded. So when you look out over it, you don't see the water. You don't see like this glistening expanse of water. You see the reeds. Everything happens in and amongst those.
So even the wildlife's hidden, playing in amongst the reeds.
Wildlife in amongst the reeds. And according to the Brisbane City Council, it's a freshwater lagoon and it forms part of the 3 lagoons. Actually, there's 5 lagoons. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there's...
But I do know that they meet up with the Boonla wetlands.
Well, 2 of them are man-made.
Okay.
The 3 are natural and 2 are man-made.
But I think they were already originally depressions and then they've been altered, right? To make them more...
Yeah, could well be. I think the cool thing about Third Lagoon is there's not been any development around it. Unlike 𝐼𝐵𝐵𝐾𝐿, which is right smack in the middle of Sandgate and somewhat tamed with its concrete walls and rotunda, etc. Dow's Lagoon has been allowed to be a bit more natural, but Third Lagoon is very much untouched.
Yeah.
And that's quite nice.
Yeah. So it makes a nice, natural, almost unadulterated walk.
Yeah. So, dear listeners, please enjoy this walk around Third Lagoon.
Nice.
And in the meantime, we'll get on with the show.
Some sad news this week.
Well, actually, we would be remiss if we didn't remember the great Brian Wilson, who died recently at 82 years old. He was the musical genius behind the Beach Boys.
Yes.
We remember the harmonies, the heartbreak, and the sunshine that he brought into our lives. We remember very well the Beach Boys songs.
Yes.
You're probably too young.
No, I do remember the Beach Boys. Thank you very much. But I was very little.
So he was a brilliant songwriter, well renowned for his songwriting, and he was co-founder of the Beach Boys. Do you remember songs like Good Vibrations?
Oh, yes.
California Girls?
Yes.
Who could not?
Absolutely.
And similar to the Bee Gees, which we talked about last week, Brian formed a band with his 2 brothers, Dennis and Carl, and there was a cousin Mike and neighbour Al.
Oh.
So it's quite a local gathering of talent. I remember just the harmonies, right? Just brilliant harmonies. Lovely music.
And I know that in the ratings and the rankings of the music industry, they were neck and neck with the Beatles.
Yes. If you read a little bit about this, it says back in the 1960s, the Beach Boys rivaled the Beatles.
Yes.
But great songs like Surfing USA, I Get Around, Fun, Fun, Fun made them America's biggest selling band. I mean, that's pretty spectacular because America's a big place.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So, and I have read quotes from people saying that the God Only Knows song that they did was probably the best song ever written. And obviously that's somebody's opinion, but it was a wonderful song. So, thank you, Brian, for everything you contributed to us and the world. And
Rest in peace.
rest in peace.
And keep on singing wherever you are.
Wherever you are.
I watched a meme this week.
A meme?
Well, it was more like a video, I guess, but it was very short. And I watched this fearless creature.
A fearless.
Yeah. Just stroll into a river full of crocodiles.
Crikeys.
This creature is a mammal.
It wasn't a drug-affected human, was it?
No. Actually, it's a rodent.
A rodent.
A big, big rodent. Doesn't have a tail. And it's quite large. And it is awesome. It's called a capybara.
Capybara?
Capybara.
Where do they get these names from?
The world's most chillest creature, unbothered, and it just doesn't give a toss on this planet. My new philosophy is be like a capybara.
Be like a capybara.
Yep.
It's almost like a...
Channel your inner capybara.
Sounds like a title for a song. Be like a capybara.
Fearless, social, and guess what?
What?
There is an official song out about the capybara.
There is?
Yes, but
I've never heard of a capybara. And it's got a song?
Absolutely. And the song goes something like this. Capybara, 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 capybara. And that's it.
That's the whole thing.
Quite boring, right?
Really easy lyrics.
So whatever tune you want to put to it, you just say the word capybara. but I stepped it up a bit.
What have you done?
I made a song.
You're inspired by Brian Wilson, aren't you?
Absolutely. So my song is Be Like a Capybara. I shall play you the first verse.
Fantastic.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Go for it.
Capybara cruising by the stream so wide, never in a hurry, just enjoying the ride. Social little buddy with a heart so free, living life as mellow as can be. Be like a capybara, take it slow, friendly and chill wherever you go. Find your tribe where the waters flow. Life's a breeze, let the good vibes grow.
What do you think of that?
That's fantastic.
I have no musical talent, but I'm getting some.
I love that. Well done. We'll publish that song on our YouTube channel.
On our channel,
and
that's right.
share it with the world.
Absolutely. So be like a capybara. That's my new motto.
I had a phone call from my sister recently who's working with my dad to get him and his partner into aged care.
Goodness.
And I got to tell you, my sister's a very smart girl and she is struggling. And the reason she's struggling is that the amount of paperwork, red tape, regulation, rules, all these kind of things that stand between my parents getting some help from the government to get into aged care is extraordinary. Trying to get money out of the government, I'm pretty sure that's never an easy thing.
No.
It's so full on that there are companies who have service where for around about $3,000, they will fill out all the forms for you.
$3,000?
$3,000.
To fill out forms?
That gives you an idea of what's involved. There are interviews, there are form fillings, you've got to gather data, you've got to get information, all sorts of different things. Now, just consider, right? These are people in their 90s, not necessarily very capable. If they were trying to do this, well, they would have no chance whatsoever. My sister is hugely frustrated with how this is going. She's getting through it, but it's a huge amount of work for her. And all we're looking for is for aged parents to gain the subsidy that they're entitled to that will help pay to put them into aged care.
That's insane.
Now, we can't be the only people in Australia.
Is it the amount of work or is it just like price gouging?
It's the complexity.
Wow.
It is the complexity. You will hear in all sorts of areas, be it building houses, working as a tradie, business generally has a huge amount of government red tape to get through.
Yeah.
And the reality is that it slows everything down and makes business so much harder, so much more difficult. And the government seems to keep adding to this.
Must be all about legalities, huh? Legal requirements just seems a lot.
It is a lot, and it's ridiculous. And the point being is that there is very few aged people that could handle this on their own.
Yeah. So you're people who've lived a long life, who are smart, who've had jobs, who've
Paid their
brought up
taxes.
children, paid their taxes, had businesses.
Contributed to society.
Yes, and coming to the end of being treated like, I don't know, imbeciles. It's very sad.
It is ridiculous. It is
truly-
ridiculous. And this needs to change.
Right.
Advocacy
Advocacy.
for change.
Are you going to start that?
I think I might write another letter to the Prime Minister.
Absolutely.
It works so well every other time I've done it.
Well, maybe you'll get an answer this time. You never know. Just don't give up.
Recently, I was looking through Facebook, as one does, and a friend of mine posted about a seminar that she'd been to. And the guy who was running the seminar was showing how if you're a creative person, you have lots of ideas, lots of things,
I'm full of ideas.
full of ideas. And creative people can tend to be squirrels.
Oh, I'm such a squirrel.
Hey, look, there's another bright, shiny thing. What's that? What's that?
Oh,
What's that?
over here.
Look
Over
over
there.
here. Look over there. And so you fill your life or your business up with all of these bright, shiny things. And he drew a circle and then began to divide it into pizza slices. And each one of the slices representing some idea or some aspect of your business that you're excited about or had thought about. And after a while, he had about 20 slices.
Wow.
And what he said was that every one of these ideas requires a marketing strategy, requires funding, requires energy, requires email campaigns, requires development.
Oh my God, I'm exhausted.
Exactly. And he said, so what you're doing is you're so busy trying to handle and give energy to all of these different projects or ideas that your business becomes unsustainable.
Well, because it's not one business, because it's about 20.
Exactly. And so what he's saying is, essentially, to look at all of these great ideas and choose some that you want to work with, not try and work with all of them.
Right.
Just because you might get bored with one idea
Yeah.
and move on to the next one, then the next one, then the next one, and none of them ever really get developed.
So eat it one slice at a time.
Hey, that's a good analogy. And have less slices, otherwise you get fat.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's not true.
No.
It's the same pizza. Now, take that analogy and apply that to your life. As a creative person, how many ideas do you have for your life? And so your life becomes full of all of these bright, shiny things that you jump from one to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other. And do you actually begin to create the life that you'd really like to have?
And then you never actually develop anything fully. It's just a bit here, a bit there, a bit there.
You're like a rabbit.
Rabbit.
Hop, hop,
Hop, hop.
hop,
Hop, munch, hop, munch, hop, munch.
hop, munch. I love it. So that was really great. So I looked at that myself and I thought, wow, that's so much me. What we're going to do is to sit down on our kitchen table with big sheets of paper and some coloured pens.
I love big sheets of paper and colour. Oh my gosh, do we go? Oh no, we're going to go shopping, aren't we?
We have to go shopping.
Yes.
And we're going to draw our own pizza chart with all of the things that we have.
Hang on, I'm still with the stationery shopping. Oh yes. You better give me a budget.
I will definitely give you a budget.
Okay.
And we'll probably tie one hand to your leg or something. So you can only carry one armful. And so we're going to draw all this out and have a look at all of the things that we've got going and then make some choices. Put the energy into
Sounds marvellous.
these things.
Now we're going to tell people which pizza slice we come down to.
Then we're going to eat our pizza.
Yum.
One slice at a time.
One slice at a time.
We could probably manage 2 slices at a time. We've got 2 hands.
Nice. I like it. I'm so sporty, aren't I?
You are not.
Exactly. I have never been into sport. I am so disinterested. I watch a bit of tennis maybe once every 3 years.
You mean you don't watch the football?
I don't even know what football is.
We should mention, for those who don't know you, that you're a teacher.
Yes, I'm a teacher. So I did ballet for 3 years. Then I came to Australia. When I went to school here, all of a sudden there's this thing called Wednesday afternoon sport. Mm-hmm. And I find myself on a field and they give me hockey stick and go, play. And I'm going, what is this? So I ran around a bit and I had no idea about any of the rules. And then I come onto this court with these tiny little hoops and it's this thing called netball. I'd never seen netball in my life. All of a sudden I'm meant to play and every time I move, the whistle goes off and I don't even know what I'm doing wrong.
We all have to start somewhere.
But guess what?
What?
If I knew that I had to take sport at school, I'm not sure whether I would have become a teacher.
So what does that mean, take sport at school?
So Tuesday afternoons we have junior sport. Wednesday afternoon we have senior sport. Mm-hmm. So I get given a class. I have to take them out for sport. Sometimes we do with rotations. And 1 week we're playing handball and then we're playing this game with frisbee and then we're meant to play soccer and I'm supposed to be in charge of all these kids.
And direct them.
And direct them and organise games.
And referee them.
Oh, I doubt it. I don't even know the rules. Once I was put onto a bus and I had to take a team for travelling inter-school sport and I get to the other side and it was football and they said, oh, glad you're here. You're refereeing. I almost died.
So the why question is, why does a teacher that has no training in sport have to go and deliver sport?
Because half the school goes out on sport and they need lots of teachers to run this stuff. It's time to let the sporty people do sport. If there aren't enough at school, well, they have to all join their own clubs after school and on weekends. And that way they actually get a better product because I can't deliver it.
A comparison would be, here's a nice new Mercedes-Benz that needs a service. Let's pull somebody in off the street and give them a rag and a spanner and say, okay, go and service this Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, a bit like that.
Great job? Not at all. Wrecked car?
And I tell you what, sports teachers have so many other skills that I don't have. They know how to do drills. They know how to organise kids outside. They all carry a whistle, for starters, which comes in handy outside to get attention.
Bizarre. What's e-sport?
Electronic sports. They've got big screens in the room. They've got little controls and they play tennis and golf all on the screen.
Like computer games?
Computer games, wow. That's right. I'm learning a lot about technology and how to charge things, how to put things up, how to set up the screens. So I'm learning a lot about the Nintendo games.
Did you know that you call it esports?
Yeah.
Let's stick with that. Is one of the biggest growing events in the world. And
yes.
That people gather around screens or in stadiums to watch their heroes playing games.
Wow.
So the new athlete is somebody that is really expert and wonderful about playing a computer game.
Playing a computer game. It's interesting to watch the students play esports because they've got this little control in their hand and they're smashing balls through the air, but the action is not connecting with the hand. It's I'm watching and I'm going, okay, they are moving their hand, but the action is happening on the screen. So when I watch that and I try to connect that in my brain, that's very different to the physical things, which is not physical, it's digital, looking at it on the screen and then using the body with such distance. It does my head in, observe the kids. And it's bizarre as well.
But it does work, you see, because the body can't tell the difference between visualized action and actual action.
Right.
In a sense. So,
yep.
So that's why you can close your eyes and pretend you're lifting weights, right?
And it has an effect on the body.
And you make your arms really struggle to lift that weight.
Yeah.
And it has a similar effect as if you're actually in the gym lifting the weight.
Yeah, true.
So once you get your eyes and your eye-hand coordination coordinated with the screen action, then maybe for those people playing those games, it appears very real.
Yeah. And like me, not everyone's sporty.
I had some friends ask me, why aren't you retired yet? So I'm 68 years old, and according to the world, I should be retired, or at least heading towards that. And I said, I'm not really interested in retirement. What would I be retiring from? And they said, work. And I said, well, I really enjoy my work. Why would I retire from that? And so we had this kind of funny kind of discussion about it. But I was interested, and I looked up, what does the word retirement mean? Do you know?
No, what does it mean?
It actually means, literally, to withdraw into seclusion.
What, like become a monk?
Whatever you like. Words have energy, they have power. When we use them, they create. And so what you're saying is, I'm withdrawing from what? From my life, my work, whatever.
When people say I'm going to retire, the thing that always pops up in my head, slowing down of everything. Everything slowing down and becoming a bit mundane.
Well, some people like retirement. Some people go travelling, jump in camper vans, do all sorts of things. My dad, who enjoyed his work all his life, it took him 3 years and 3 goes to retire. Because each time he stopped work...
It's like giving up smoking.
He got incredibly bored.
Yeah.
And so he went back to work. And eventually he managed to find some other things to do. And so he's played golf and he plays cards, bridge, and he learned the organ and he had to fill his life up with something. But really, I think he quite enjoyed his work.
Yeah.
And I get a sense that this retiring into seclusion, I wonder if some people actually stop creating their life. It's like, okay, I've done all my work, I've raised my kids, I've paid my house off, whatever it is. And they get to what they've perceived to be the end goal.
Yeah.
So now the goal is to, quote unquote, enjoy. But maybe you really enjoyed your life the way it was.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking of the movie we watched last night, A Stitch in Time. Beautiful movie. And look what this elderly woman did. She started her life again, became a seamstress again, and then moved in with younger people, left her grumpy old husband.
She'd given up designing
for
clothes.
him.
Yeah.
To contribute to his life, and he treated her like crap. And then she got her second wind, and at a later age did amazing things. It was a great movie.
It was a great movie. Yeah. I know Glenn Shorrock, the Little River Band lead singer, he played one of the leads.
Yeah.
It was a very good movie. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, sometimes you give up things that you really, really enjoy for the sake of retirement when you don't have to.
Yes.
There are other choices.
Yep.
Cool.
This week I arrived at school early one morning. It was 9 degrees, and I saw this little munchkin, a Year 7 student, sitting on concrete in a sports uniform. And I felt so sad for him. And I went up to him and I said, "Where's your jumper?"
He was cold, right?
Oh, he was freezing.
Right.
Because the sports uniform is only shorts and a T-shirt and obviously socks and shoes. And he said, "Oh, my jumper's in my school bag, but it's non-uniform. So it means it doesn't have the right colour, like not maroon." And he said, "So when I come to school, I have to take it off." I said, "Okay, what you need to do is you need to go upstairs to the student counter and you need to ask, just tell them that you've misplaced your school uniform jumper and can you borrow one, please, because it's so cold."
Ah, so the school has reserves of clothing.
Yeah, a limited amount.
Right.
Limited amount for just things like emergencies. Later I saw him sitting down there in the piazza area outside and he had this wind cheater on.
Good.
Now and he wasn't as cold anymore. Now the wind cheaters aren't that thick, right? But they're wind cheaters. It's for wind, not necessarily the cold. So I've questioned the whole thing about uniforms. Are they still relevant?
Are they appropriate?
Yeah, because we have a formal uniform and a sports uniform. And that's it. There isn't one for summer, there isn't one for winter. There are some long trousers. I don't even know what all the elements of the uniform are, but I'm supposed to police it. And then they're even meant to have certain coloured socks. And I'm going, I don't even know what colour the socks are supposed to be. Enforcing the uniform is so far out of my mind that I miss things all the time.
Yeah. I bet when you signed up to be a teacher, you never thought you also needed to be a policeman as well.
Didn't think I had to do sport, and now I didn't think I had to do the policing of uniforms. What colour socks on which day, which uniform on what day, no piercings, no tattoos, hair up. Oh, the list goes on.
Rules and regulations.
Rules and regulations. And you know what I'd like to do? Oh, what are we going to learn about today?
Yeah.
That's where my head's at.
Well, the thing with uniforms, there's a couple of things to this, right, is that there tends to be one design, one style, one cut, and everybody's body is different.
Yes.
So if you're out shopping for yourself, you go and try on clothes until you find something that looks good, maybe it's comfortable, the fabric you like, all of those things. But the children are required to all wear the same style, and they all have different bodies. Some are skinny, some are bigger, some are taller, some are shorter. So it can be very comfortable to squeeze yourself into some clothing that was never really designed for you in the first place.
Yes.
And the second thing is, I mean, we in Queensland here sometimes have this point of view that we live in the Sunshine State and it's warm and sunny all year round. Well, it's not. It got down to 2 degrees Celsius in Brisbane recently. I mean, we're having, 9 degrees, 8 degrees at night time. It's bloody cold.
And then girls wear their formal uniform, which is a dress. But it's the same dress for summer and for the whole year.
Yeah.
How can one dress be appropriate for 30 degrees and then 9 degrees?
It can't be. And also, I reckon if you looked at what these clothings are made out of, I reckon they're made out of plastic.
Yes.
The rayons and polyesters. I mean, in other countries that have colder climates, you have wool and appropriate materials for the weather. They have thicker fabric. We're really not looking after our kids at all. And then there's the cost of buying all of these uniforms. Which,
they're not cheap.
Yeah.
But I guess some people think that if they just buy one set, it's cheaper than buying a whole lot of clothes to wear all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's so many pros and so many cons, and we could argue with them forever.
I reckon kids need to have thermal underwear for winter. Then they can wear their uniform on top.
Yeah, but then thermal underwear, then they have to put the dresses on top. So they have to buy a bigger size dress to allow, because the dresses are sometimes so tight you can't fit anything else underneath.
Well, that's the price of fashion.
Price of fashion. Okay. Well, then uniforms are not very fashionable.
Let's do away with uniforms and let people choose.
Yes.
Yes.
Hear, hear. Then I don't have to remember.
And you don't have to do any policing and you can get on with some teaching.
Yes. That'd be nice.
That'd be a change.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Let's write to the Prime Minister.
Oh, yes, another letter.
Another letter to the Prime Minister.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Well, is that it for today?
That's it for today.
Fantastic. Same place next week?
Perhaps not.
Same time?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
You've been listening to Mouthbuzz. Subscribe to stay in the loop and be part of the conversation next time.